Hey guys, time to do a little bit of weathering here on our new GP9E unit over here that we just got. You can see it's all nice and shiny and everything, and it's just not quite matching its little brother, or I should say its big brother there in the background, our GP38-2. And so I figured I'll just do a quick video here, how I do it, what I do, and everything like that, just to weather something up a little bit. Now, the first thing I always do is I put a clear coat on the Locomotive. I know sometimes cars are shiny and stuff like that in the real world, especially like tank cars, but when you miniaturize it, don't ask me why, ask Boomer, I'm sure he can tell you. But if you dull it down, it just looks more real. Now, you can use any kind of clear coat. I use what is this right here? Here we go. I use this guy right here. I just happen to have some, but any kind of clear coat that's flat. I use this stuff right here for, you know, modeling and everything. And that's the first thing. Now, it's going to be a nice base. It'll kind of rough up the surface too, so that we can start doing some powders and stuff like that. And if we take a look at the old GP38 there, you can see kind of the rusty stuff and all that stuff on top there, on top of the cab right there. That's all mostly powders. I don't do a ton of spraying with you know, colors, other than just maybe a little bit of black here and there on the vents and things like that. But well, let's get started here. Now, for a clear coat, if you're going to be doing an airbrush, I have one of my old cheap airbrushes here specifically dedicated for clear coat stuff, because it's quite messy, and you know, you don't want to gunk up your good airbrush with it. Anyway, first we got to kind of mask off the windshields and then, you know, the glass and everything like that. I'm not going all outboard here. I've got a little bit of masking tape. I'm going to go ahead and get that on there, just a little piece right there. And then I'm going to be very careful where I spray it, and I'm not going to spray a ton of the clear coat in that sort of, you know, location. So let me put the masks on. Okay, got little pieces cut over here. And again, I'm not super duper concerned. You don't have to, you know, get it perfect. Just, you know, get stuff covered up like the little glass right there. So sometimes it's a little finicky here, and even those little pieces of glass are a little finicky too. You can see they kind of wobble around and stuff. So just that. I'm not sticking it on there. I'm not going to be pulling off the windshield wipers. You got to be kind of careful, because if you try to mask that off, you're going to pull that little photo etch windshield wiper off, and then maybe some of the other details. So let me get the other side done and we'll get to spraying. Okay, I'm not going to bother masking off, like I said, the front and back windshield. I know you can't really see it right there, because it's got that photo etch on it. And I'm just going to be giving it a nice coat. Now, obviously, when you're using any kind of spray, and I'm doing this in my garage here with my my flat, get your respirator on, and we'll start. Get the camera set up here. We'll start giving it a nice dull coat. All right, there you go. There's the initial coat of flat clear coat on it. This stuff dries pretty quick, and it, you know, as long as you get a decent sort of coat on it, it looks good already. Look at that. It looks even better now. Just dulling down that sort of plasticky shine on it. If that's all you did, that's even good enough. It looks better than it did before. So let me get the masking off here, and hopefully I didn't spray too much on the windshields. Okay, got the masking off, and as you can see, even with that, just that light masking, we took off one of the little, I don't know if it's a little clear shield right there. Right there, those things are basically tacked on. There's just one right there. They even wiggle when I just touch them. So I've got it over here laying down, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of super glue it over there really quick. Delicate work, but put that back on. That's why don't take your masking tape and stick it on there with all your pressure. You're going to end up ripping all this stuff off. Okay, so I just dabbed a little bit of super glue right over here on this one, on the on the Locomotive itself, and just gently placed it over there. Got a little bit of super glue over there, but that's all right. We're gonna weather this thing up. It'll look great. Now, next step is actually getting it weathered up. Let's start with some powders. I think I'm going to do a little bit of white, a little bit of rust up on the hood again, similar to our GP38, and you can see kind of what it's going to look like. I think I'm going to kind of stick to pretty much the same sort of look and feel. Like this thing's been running around a little bit. Okay, so I just gathered up all of my little powders and washes and stuff. Now these two are, this is like this is a liquid. These two with the black caps, rust wash. Streaking effect. This one's really old. I'm not sure how it'll work. This is all powder, so we've got maroon oxide, brown iron oxide, whatever you want to call it, dark yellow, and just white. So let's get to powdering this little sucker up here. So, got my nice dry brush right here. I think we're going to start with the dark red, or the red, I should say. We're going to go real light. I just use the cap over here, and then get most of it off, because a little bit goes a long way. And I'm going to start rubbing it in, and look at that. You can already see that nice effect that it creates. A little rusty top here, and again, we're just using just a little bit of it. Most of it I'm going to actually take off of the brush here, and just kind of working it in, scrubbing it in. Probably get a little bit over here on the short hood, just a little bit. And this is where that having the dull coat on there helps, because if you didn't have the dull coat on there, it would really just flake off. It would just blow right off. But see here, we're able to get in there, really get a nice coat on it. And again, like I said, just going really light over here. Now this is all going to be pretty much black, I think, but we'll get a little bit in here. It's all about kind of layering all this stuff in here. This is the 80s, is the era I'm going after. So, this thing's been around for a little while. Now, I don't have any specific sort of like, what do you call it? Use this color first, then use that one. I just kind of start someplace and keep on going. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, some of this will kind of blow off, but for the most part, it's on there. Let's see what else I gotta do. The front, this one here doesn't come with plows, but let's see if you can see that. All right, I'm gonna be generous down here with it, so I'm not even taking it off my brush. I'm putting it straight on here. Same thing on the back. Hopefully you can see that. If you had the plows on there, it makes it look really nice too, just like on the GP38. As a matter of fact, I've got him out here. Let's touch him up a little bit too. Why not? All right, let's see here. Now it's all a matter of preference here on how far you want to go. I think that's about it. I think I'm going to do just a little bit. I like using this stuff, like I said, up on the top right here where it's sort of, you're starting to get that rusty fade to it a little bit. You know what I mean? And I like hitting the trucks quite heavy with this stuff. Now when I sprayed the dull clear coat, I was careful to just kind of hit the tops of these because you don't want to get all that crap on your tires, or your wheels. You know what I mean. You don't want to get clear coat all into your wheel sets. All right, I think that's good. The only other thing I'm going to do is the fuel tank down here. And give that a little bit of a brushing right there. And since that's where you usually pick things up, you're going to get it on your hands. Get just a little bit over here where the battery box is. I say a little bit, and here I am like slathering the stuff on. But again, you can always wash this off because it's just powder. So if you go a little bit overboard, you can kind of wipe it down. Plus, one of the other things is, once I'm done with it, I'm going to give it another coat of clear coat that kind of seals it in. And when you spray that other clear coat on, it's going to kind of tone everything down a little bit. As the UPS guy goes by. All right, now let's grab my lighter one here. This is going to have a huge effect. This is like very light. Same brush, just get a little bit in the cap here. And for the most part, get most of it off because I don't really want a ton of it on here. And you can see it's kind of powdery. I'm not really scrubbing it in. I want the red stuff to be scrubbed in. This is just going to kind of get sprinkled around on top and just touched up here and there. Now, over here, this is like what I said. You might think, holy crap, I did way too much. But when you come back and spray it with another piece of dull coat, or a layer of dull coat, it definitely thins it down a little bit. And there's always happy little accidents, you know, that happen, that sort of thing. Alright, let's see, where else do I want to get this? Now, we haven't even touched the red in the front. But I think what I'm going to do is pretty much just leave this the way it is with a little bit of white once we come back in with the white powders. And over here, I'm going to try to kind of get in here into the walkways and stuff with this stuff. I didn't want to do the red there. Who knows? I might come back and just kind of get in there. Get a little bit on the doors here and there. I really want to fade down the doors more with the white one. And then also what I'm going to do is come back with a little bit of black spray paint on my airbrush and just touch up the grills. Yeah, we got one side done. Let's get the other one over here. Don't forget the trucks here. I gotta get those too on the other side. Duster down. I might actually use some of this on the red. That'll kind of tone it down too. Try not to knock all the little bits and pieces off here. Yeah. don't knock over your bottle there, Engineer Rick. Alright. Let's see, did I get the walkways here? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Just a little bit. Yeah, I just love the way it looks on the top there with that red. Okay. Let's see here. I think did I get the backs here a little bit? Get the front. Oh yeah, with quite a bit. Trying to keep everything in view for you here. Get the garage door opened up too. Get a little bit of air in here after I did the clear coat. Okay, that looks pretty respectable. If I could get it on camera for you. All right, now comes the part where I screw this whole thing up. Just kidding. White. Now, being that you know, this is a gray Southern Pacific unit, we want to go really careful with here. I'm just literally getting like, let me see if I can show you how much I've got. I mean, that's it right there. And I'm going to just work it into the ground right here. And then let's see what, you know, do a little test spot here. You can see it's kind of making little highlights right there almost on the grills. But this is where I want to just sort of fade down the panel. So I'm going to kind of scrub it in just a little bit. Take a look, step back. Let me get a little bit more of it. Oop, I got a whole ton of it, but get most of it off here. Let's see. There you go. So you can see how that really fades down the doors. And again, I'm being a little bit cautious here with this. I don't want too much. Like I did right there, but that's all right. Happy little accent. That part's quite faded right there. And I'm not just doing the whole thing, you know what I mean? I'm going to kind of, just do here and there individual panels. Get the front of this thing kind of done up. Oh boy. All right, let's see here. Let's try to tone down some of this bright red. Now the clear coat kind of tends to tone it down anyway, right? But I'm going to get in here and kind of stay away from the lights for the most part. You don't want to stick them in there. Make sure I don't knock that over. I'm going to come back on these battery boxes down here and just sort of, ooh, there we go. Put a little bit of that streaking grime, hopefully. All right, let's see here. We got to get a little bit, a little bit in there. A little bit up top too, for a good measure here. Now you can get crazy and start going, you know, real fine, delicate sort of things, you know, like that if you want. Yeah. And break the rails. The fuel tanks, for the most part, I'm just going to leave like that, and good enough, because I'm going to come back in and probably do a little bit more streaking and griming. I like the faded sort of look here. Let's get the, I think that looks good. Let's get the back really quick, just so it all matches up here. Trying to stay out of the camera's way too. There we go. Get the walkways right there. All right. I'm kind of happy the way that's looking right there. And again, this will tone down a little bit if you think that's too much right there on the cab. Let me zoom in here for you. Alright, now for a little bit of streaking here. I'm going to give it a try with some of this stuff. It's pretty old, so I think I'm just going to do that off camera, but I'm going to just touch up the battery box a little bit, maybe a little bit around the fuel tank, and then a little black spray up on top, and we'll call it done. Alright, so my streak and grime is just pretty much a paste, so I had to kind of thin it down with a little bit of lacquer thinner, and you know, you can use brown paint, I guess. I think this stuff kind of tends to dry a little bit more shinier, so let's just touch up the battery box right here just a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit there. A lot of this stuff will kind of, you know, we're going wet on dry right here, so this will kind of dry up here a little bit, but a little bit there. And where's the fuel tank? Where do they refill this thing? I'm guessing right there, right? I'll try to get a little bit more there. And what it's doing is just leaving just a little bit residual. You can see over here by the battery box, it's already kind of drying up. And just almost making like a stain right there a little bit. Let's do the other side too. I guess they only fill up right here. Maybe they fill up over here. Okay, whatever. We'll get a little bit over here by the battery again. All right, I think that's it. Let's get the airbrush out and get a little bit of black up on there, get that soot going. All right, final step here, or at least the second to final step. Just a little flat black here, Tamiya, thin down, about 50-50 in the good airbrush. And we'll start doing a little bit up on top over here. Over by the exhaust. I'm guessing that fan up there gets pretty dirty too. Don't mind the airbrush. And I don't think I'm going to turn that off. I don't think I'm going to put any more anywhere else. I could. No, I think that's good. But while I'm over here, I'm taking a look at my my GP38, and I'm gonna dirty him up a little bit too. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna do the vents there a little bit. Just any grills like that, I just spray a little bit in there, like so, just to kind of darken them up. So. And I know I've already done it on here, but And then I put more, what do you call it? More powders on here. But all right, we got that one done. We're getting 2 for 1 over here. So, all right, let's take a good look over here at the grills before and after. There's a little black right there. Let's get this one over here, make sure you can see it. There we go. Just sort of makes them pop a little bit. Gives them a little bit more three-dimensional look to them. There we go. That's it. Hey, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe just a bit. You never know. Sometimes you get in the mood and I just, whatever, touch it up a little bit here or there. All right, let's get the final clear coat on it, and then we'll take a couple shots of it, you know, close up. All right, guys, final coat of, you know, clear coat, and you'll see it kind of tones things down over here now. I'm not going to put my mask on. I got my garage opened up, and the wind is blowing that away. So I'm just going to get this thing going, make sure we got some flowing right there, and just give it a quick coat here and there. I'm also not going to mask off the windows here. I'm just going to be kind of careful. You can see how it, right there, it toned down that, that white quite a bit. Smells good. Now I am being careful not to get it into the headlights too. But you can't be perfect, you know. You're gonna get it here or there. A little bit on the front right there. Get all that done. All right, I think we're done. Let's, yeah, I like it. I think I got everything up here, yep. All right, before I totally get, you know, funny in the head breathing this stuff in, let's go put it on the layout and get a good close look at it. All right, guys, here's the final product. Looking real nice there. Now it's starting to match. It's Big Brother back there, huh? Just subtle enough, but hey, looks like it's been around the block a few times, no? We'll try to make it look, you know, realistic here. Come on, focus. Keep your hand steady. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That's how I do my weathering here. It no longer looks like a piece of plastic. It looks like a properly weathered locomotive that's been running around for a little bit, huh? Alright guys, take care. I'll see you in the next ops video probably.